first up is the Deodons. Give it
Thanks everyone, and thanks Sam for that lovely introduction. So yeah, we privileged in going first with these presentations. We've got a wonderful cohort of students, and I'm sure throughout the day it's going to be some amazing stuff. But quickly, just introduce myself and the team. We are the Deodons. So we have Eden, Hev, Ethan, Adam, and myself, Carl, that will be speaking to you shortly about our Toolshed. Next slide, please. So what is Toolshed? At its core, Toolshed is a decentralized community item library. It's for hobbyists, it's for professionals, it's for builders, it's for everyone. When we really thought about what type of app we wanted to produce, we really wanted to drive in community values. And we came to the conclusion that we've all been in a situation where you wanted a tool or item and you may not have it. You might be at a pinch or you want it for a short period of time. And so you need somewhere to go to borrow it. And that's how we landed on the idea of Toolshed. So we developed the Toolshed manifesto, and we can categorize that into 3 things. Borrow what you need, connect with your local neighbors and communities, lend what you don't, help a neighbor out, and build it together, help each other achieve your projects and goals. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to Adam, who's going to do our app demonstration. Thanks.
Woo! So we start the video, please. Yep. So come on to our onboarding screen when we first start the app. This tells us a bit about the app, how to use the app, and then straight through to our login screen. We can register as a new user, or if we're an existing user, we can sign in. Then it's through to our Toolshed page. We've got all items within 15 miles, and we can filter the items by distance, availability, and category. Then on the item page itself, we can view the picture of the item, a description, a map, and send a message to the owner of that item. And here we are on our user page, so we can view all our own items, all our own requests, and delete those items and requests. We've also got some stats at the top for the items and requests we have, ranking based on that. So then we have our inbox page where we've got all our chats with all users. So here we can carry on chats and also receive chats in real time. So if we arrange to lend out an item, we can go back to our Toolshed, find that item, and then mark it as lent. So, and then we also have our requests page. So any items that aren't currently in the system but somebody needs, you can go here, post a request, and you can view those requests, reply to the user who posted the request, and also view where the request comes from. So we can filter by distance with those as well. And then finally, we can post requests and also post items. And if we post an item, we need a name, description, category, and we can post an image from our phone and upload that item. There you go. So now I'll pass on to Eden and Hev to talk more about the tech stack.
Thanks, Adam. So in terms of tech stack, I'm going to start off talking about the front end. So for front end, we chose React Native and Expo. We did this first and foremost because the documentation for those technologies is really good and comprehensive, and that was important given that we were learning so much in such a short amount of time. Also, compatibility was a priority given that we were working across macOS and Linux systems, but also because we wanted Toolshed to be available across Android and iOS devices. So we would reach as wide an audience as possible, regardless of their mobile platform. Styling as well. React Native and Expo both had really good packages for that, so we could build a strong brand and deliver the best user experience possible. I'm going to hand over to Eden now to discuss the back end.
Hi everyone. So for the back end, we decided to go for NoSQL over SQL because the document structure is a lot more flexible and allowed us to work in a much more agile way. And we're able to change like document fields like on the fly, and also the real-time capabilities of NoSQL were also really beneficial to our project as well. We spiked to MongoDB, but we decided to go all in on Firebase in the end because we wanted to work with authentication with Firebase as well. Oops. For image uploading and downloading, we used Image Picker to extract photos from the phone and also compress that. And we used Firebase cloud storage to upload and be able to download as well. So the images were easily accessible throughout the app. For instant messaging, we initially spiked Socket.io, but in the end, we decided to build our instant messaging functionality ourselves, using our Firestore database to store messages as documents under their own sub-collections and collections. For location, we used Expo location to convert a postcode, which someone enters on signing up, to convert that into a pair of lat-long coordinates, which we could then store under a user's document in the database. So now I'll pass it over to Ethan to talk a little bit about some of the challenges that we faced during the project.
Thank you, Eden. So we had three big main issues mostly. One of these was the alignment of the tech choices. So we decided to go with React Native because we had a few compatibility issues because we had users on Mac and we had users on Linux as well. We used Android emulator, sorry. And that's because compatibility issues, obviously, again, made sure everything was fine, everything worked well, hard to set up, we got over it. Also, we used Figma and Trello mostly for planning and just making sure everything was in order. This worked really well for us, got used to it really quickly, very efficient. The second really big issue was also with working processes. So it was one of our first times working on a really big agile tech project. We have done agile tech projects before, but very small, nothing to this scale. And also GitHub, a little bit finicky in times with merging branches, but got used to it really quickly, really efficiently. And obviously working at home was a little bit difficult. Me and Eden had a few Wi-Fi issues every so often, hard to get used to. That was fine after a while. So the big thing was images. Image storage was really hard to get over. Once we kind of understood how to store the images, we went down a little bit of a loop of sending a few too many requests with an infinite loop that we did manage to fix. And we had to compress the images due to the image file size. It's pretty much all the issues we had. We did overcome them really well. Now I'm going to pass it over to Kyle to talk over the future developments of the app.
Cheers, Ethan. So initially, when we kind of sat down and actually planned out everything we wanted to do, we had so many different ideas of like where we want to take the app. We really wanted to drive down community, so payments would probably be the next step, but that'd be for more expensive and a deposit kind of safety scheme. We looked at Stripe, but as I said, we kind of thought let's keep it to the community first and foremost. Next, ID verification, so power tools and having the right certification for certain tools that are on our app would be kind of the next step, and potentially being 18 plus to actually use it. And then finally, we'd want to incorporate a booking system or a calendar just so we have more kind of idea of when things are available, when they're not available, and you can do it all through the app. So that would be the next steps for Toolshed. And finally, I'm going to hand it back over to Hev, who's going to run things up for us.
Hello again. I just want to say thank you on behalf of my team to everyone at Northcoders for the opportunity. It's been a wild ride. And thank you for everyone watching. And I can't wait to see what the rest of the cohort has in store. And I think to speak for everyone, when I say like I can't imagine having done this back in October. So yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.